I don't think we are finished with it.
If a country like Burundi is not going to become a welfare state in the long run, and you need jobs for a lot of people, what do you see in the economy that you can develop in a global economy that will allow a country like Burundi to actually become self-sufficient and produce good-paying jobs for its people?
Very good question. Burundi is an agricultural country. They have and at present they produce excellent coffee, by the way. In fact, I used it the other day at a social function in my own home, and they also produce tea. But it's not very well developed, but the growing conditions, as long as they don't have torrential rains and floods, which they've had this year, are excellent, and fertile soil. So I think that is something to at least to start with, and most people do live in the countryside.
Norway should be applauded for having 100% literacy rate that I noticed in it. How do you maintain that when a country such as ours cannot seem to be able to do that, even though probably we have more resources than you have? So how does that seem to keep going?
Well, Norway is a small country. We have everybody is sent to school, and we have a fairly homogeneous society. Although I must say that even Norway is becoming multicultural. Our largest ethnic group in Norway today, in addition to Norwegian, are Pakistanis. We have lots of Pakistanis in Norway, especially in the eastern part and in the Oslo area. Doing very, very well, I must say. Very enterprising people, and so even Norway is changing, but I think this has not been an issue with us. It's when you to run a country and make sure that everybody goes to school and learn to read, to make sure that 5 million people do that, it's probably easier than over here. You are still the melting pot with lots of different challenges from us.
I think we can take one more question.
Sir, does Norway have more of a cooperative or competitive stance towards the European Union and the United States? Which is it more?
No, we do cooperate very well with the EU. In fact, as I said, in economic terms, we are almost 100% integrated, and we work also with the EU. For example, in the justice sector, we have a so-called Schengen agreement, which comprises not all the EU countries, but most of them, which means that we have a common border, like you can travel to Germany, and you will be controlled at the outer border before you enter Germany, and from Germany you can go to Norway without the passport. So it's that kind of cooperation. So, and in political terms, Norway, although outside the EU, we are still a European country. So I think that on practically all issues, our views in terms of foreign policy issues, international issues, are coinciding pretty much with what is mainstream EU, I think.
And what about the United States? Is it more competitive, cooperative? I'm guessing it's the same, correct?
Well, I feel that the United States is cooperating well with the EU in many areas. We discussed, for example, the Middle East issue. You had the quartet, European Commission being part of the quartet, and the EU an important player together with the US, Russia, and the UN, for example. I wouldn't exaggerate the differences. At times there are the sort of it seems at times that there is a transatlantic divide, but I wouldn't exaggerate that. There are more things that bind us together than divide us.
I would like to thank the ambassador very much for speaking to us and answering so many questions in such detail. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.